don't jump and bang. Welcome to the April 20th, 2023 Mobile City Planning Commission. I would like to take a moment to review our general operating procedures. This meeting is divided into two sessions, public hearing session and deliberation session. In the public hearing session, an agenda item is called. The applicant makes their presentation. Commission members ask questions, if any, and members of the public make their comments to the commission. Only 4 people may speak for an agenda item and 4 people against. Each speaker is limited to 5 minutes, subject to questions by the commission. At 1 minute remaining, a speaker will hear a warning bell or a beep prompting you to summarize your comments. After opposition speakers have finished, the applicant is allowed a 2-minute rebuttal. If you do intend to speak, come to the podium at the bottom of the stairs, speak into the microphone, provide your name and your address for our records. Direct all your comments to the commission only and not to the applicant, towards the staff or the audience. After hearing all the applications, the commission will then go into deliberation session where we will discuss each application with input from the staff as necessary, but with no input from the audience. Commissioners then vote on each application and results of the meeting, and that agenda item can be learned from the planning department. If some issues arise during deliberation that were not addressed in the public hearing, we have the discretion to allow additional comments pertaining to those issues to resolve them, or we can call for the application to be held over for discussion at a future meeting. Occasionally, a commissioner may recuse themselves from discussing and voting on a given application. A recusal does not mean the member is directly involved with the application or the applicant, but depending upon the circumstances, ethical rules may require a recusal, even if there is only the slightest appearance of a conflict of interest. If a regular member recuses, a supernumerary will vote in their stead. The Planning Commission makes final decisions on subdivisions with appeals of these decisions to the Circuit Court. The Planning Commission is strictly recommending body for rezonings, conditional use permits, and planned unit developments, or PUDs. The City Council makes the final decision on these applications. All appeals of City Council decisions are to the Circuit Court. At this time, please turn off your cell phones or turn them to silent, and any other electronic devices. Commissioners and staff, please turn on your microphones when speaking. I'll call the roll. Myself, Jay Stubbs, present. Mr. Alan Cameron. Ms. Jennifer Denson. Mr. Carlos Gant.
Here.
Ms. Shirley Sessions.
Here.
Mr. Taylor Atchison. Mr. Matt Anderson. Mr. Nick Amberger.
Here.
Ms. Susan Carley. Mr. Kirk Matei. We have a quorum, and I'll entertain a motion to adopt the agenda for April 20th.
So moved. Second.
Properly moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
The motion passes. Our first item on the agenda is a holdover. Number 1 on the agenda, west terminus of Circle Court Drive Landing Subdivision. This falls under previous application before the UDC code was adopted. It is recommended for tentative approval with 13 listed conditions. Is the applicant present? Are you in agreement with the 13 listed conditions? The applicant is present and in agreement. A note to commissioners that there is a document at your seat with comments on this agenda item. Is there anyone else here to speak for number 1? Is there anyone here to speak against number 1? All right, seeing none, we'll move on to agenda item number 2, new application 6255 Airport Boulevard, Pinehurst subdivision, Delaney's addition to Spring Hill, re-subdivision of Block 8 and a portion of Block 9. This falls under the new UDC and sub-regulations. It has 9 listed conditions. Is the applicant present? Are you in agreement with the 9 listed conditions should this be determined by the commission to be approved? All right. Applicant is present and in agreement. Is there anyone else here to speak for this agenda item? Anyone here to speak against this agenda item? All right, seeing none, we will move on to number 3, 2258 Airport Boulevard, subdivision and re-subdivision of Lot 1. This application was made prior to the adoption of the UDC, new UDC code. It is recommended for tentative approval with 10 listed conditions. Is the applicant present? Are you in agreement with the 10 listed conditions? The applicant is present and in agreement. Is anyone else here to speak for this agenda item? Is there anyone here to speak against this agenda item? All right, seeing none, we will conclude the public hearing session on these 3 agenda items. We'll move back to number 1 for deliberation. West terminus of Circle Court, west of Bryant Road, Circle Court Drive Landing subdivision. Applicant is present and in agreement with the 13 listed conditions. Entertain a motion.
Move to approve, subject to staff recommendations.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes. New agenda item number 2, 6255 Airport Boulevard, Pinehurst subdivision, Delaney's addition to Spring Hill, re-subdivision of Block 8 and portion of Block 9. 9 listed conditions. The applicant is present and in agreement should this agenda item be approved. Any discussion or entertain a motion?
Motion
Move to approve, subject to staff recommendations.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes. Number 3 on the agenda, 2258 Airport Boulevard. Recommended. Previous application recommended tentative approval, 10 listed conditions. Applicant is present and in agreement with the 10 listed conditions. Entertain a motion.
Move to approve based on staff recommendation.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes. That concludes the agenda on business for the Planning Commission. I'll see if staff has any comments.
I do. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to just take a moment to recognize a Planning Commission member that's rolling off after a decade of service to the Commission and many years more than that to the city. But this afternoon, we recognize Mr. Carlos Gant. He is hereby officially recognized for 10 years of dedication and service to the City of Mobile Planning Commission, done on this 20th day of April in the year of our Lord, 2023, and then the 121st year of the founding of the City of Mobile, proclaimed by Mayor William S. Stimpson.
Mr. Gann, on behalf of the Planning Commission that sits here today, we thank you for your service and appreciate everything that you've done for us and for the City of Mobile. Any further business from staff? Meeting adjourned.